The Allianz Premiership Women's Rugby clash between Leicester Tigers women and Loughborough Lightning. As we approach the final round of the PWR season, both sides will be looking to finish their campaigns on a high. Leicester Tigers come into today's fixture off the back of their last outing, where they'll be taking plenty of lessons and confidence as they continue to build and develop within the competition. Meanwhile, Loughborough Lightning arrive having shown their own resilience and attacking ambition in recent weeks, making this an intriguing East Midlands derby encounter. Coming into today's game, Leicester sit 9th in the table, with Loughborough occupying 7th. And while their playoff places may already be decided, there's still plenty of play for items of pride, momentum, and ending the season with a statement of performance. For both teams, this marks their final Premiership Women's Rugby fixture of the year. It's a campaign filled with challenges, growth and memorable moments. And both sets of players will be eager to give their supporters one last dance to savour the attention before preparations of next season. The stage is set, the local rivalry is renewed, and we're ready for 80 minutes of Premiership Women's Rugby action. And I'm delighted to be joined in co-coms by the legend of the motoring world, Ant Anstead. How are you doing, Ant?
Well, yeah, firstly, thank you for having me. It's so great to be here. I mean, look at this live sport. We've got some great British weather, and it's a derby game, plus it's the final game of the season. So, yeah, thank you again for having me. It's such a privilege.
Absolutely, and you're no stranger to these parts of the woods. Despite living in America, you've got a family tie here. Tell us about her.
Yeah, we're going straight there. So this is going to be the difficult part for me because, you know, part of being a commentator is to be impartial. And I'm just going to tell you guys out there I'm unlikely to be impartial because my daughter, Amelie, plays for Leicester Tigers. So I'm actually secretly, or not so secretly, willing on the Tigers to win. And, you know, they haven't won a game all season. So this is the last game of this year. So it is their last opportunity to hopefully get a W.
Well, there you go. And they had a cracking game last week against Harlequins and able to score 29 points. And that should show, you know, they got the bonus point win there. You were there. How was it at Quins?
Well, first of all, it was a fantastic game. It was really, really good for the neutral. The stadium was packed. I was actually incredibly surprised, you know, how many people were there, big demographic of young people. But the important thing for me as a Leicester Tigers fan at this stage is they lost but still managed to put down 29 points. You know, the hardest thing to do in any sport is score. And Leicester, who've had a relatively unsuccessful season, are scoring 29 points. They won the second half as well, which for me shows glimpses of promise.
Well, there you go. It's all about promise. And we're going to take a look at the table now of how the rest of the teams have been going. So you'll just see on your screens, Gloucester Hartpury were hoping for an unbeaten season, but unfortunately for them, the Trailfinders came good as they secured their fourth spot last week. Saracens in second and Exeter in that top four spot. Quins, who played their last game, stay on 42. And while Sale can potentially get up there, it's Loughborough who wanted to get leapfrog Sale in this local derby. Leicester at the bottom looking for their first win, so anything could happen. So, moving on today, we have got an action-packed Sunday for you. 3:30 kickoff on all four games. We've got Chiefs versus Sale Sharks, Gloucester versus Bristol, Tigers Loughborough, and Saracens Trailfinders. And for me, that is probably the one I'm most excited about.
Well, I'm actually really excited that this final game of the PWR season, they're all kicking off at the same time. You know, it gives a bit of drama to the end of the year. So, yeah, it's a big one because obviously Trailfinders, you know, they've got some work to do.
So, next up, we're just going to take you to the coaches' interviews and you can see what they had to say before the match. Hi, Fraser. Great to see you. How's it feel being back at home?
Yeah, look, it's always special playing at Matt Healy Woods, Welford Road, and last game of the season. It's always fortunate to have it at home, so we're looking forward to the game today.
Excellent. And how do you feel after last week? You know, you got your bonus point from last week, 4 great tries. How was it?
Yeah, look, I think there's tons of positives to take from last week. Obviously, a slow start cost us, but the way we came back into the game was really pleasing to see, and we're hoping that we can start like that this week. OK, and so touching on those areas of work, on what have you been looking at last week? It's just that ability to get out of the gates quickly and not sort of sit back on our heels and absorb stuff. Like, have that mentality that we're going to come out fast and come out aggressive and make sure that we get going early on.
And what can you expect from Lightning today?
Like Lightning, similar to a few other teams in the league, like to throw the ball around when they've got it in hand, and they're pretty physical in defence. So we'll be trying to avoid sort of those two-man tackles today and make sure we're moving the ball as much as possible.
Absolutely. Well, go well, and can't wait to watch it.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Nathan. So how are the team doing after last week against Saracens?
Yeah, reacted really well in training. We've had a good training week. Shortened it down a little bit to make sure we're fresh. Thought we looked quite fatigued at stages against Saracens, but obviously girls were disappointed with that performance and want to put it right today.
Yeah, and one of the positives, you had a really fast start last week. I assume it's going to be more of the same today.
Yeah, hopefully, and then obviously continue that for the rest of the game, not stop like last week. But yeah, we started well against Saracens and we're hoping for something similar today, yeah.
So we've seen a positional change between Nelson and Rowland. What are you expecting to see from that?
It just want to get Hell's hands on the ball, take a little bit of pressure off Nelly. She's had a tough time over the Six Nations. Just want to get out, play a bit of rugby, and then Hell enjoys playing in the 10 position and wants to, be the playmaker in that area.
Absolutely. And so you've got a young second row getting her first start today, Kiwi. What can you expect to see from her?
Yeah, she's Kiwi's. I'm surprised it is her first Prem start. She started a lot of Prem Cup. I think she's picked up a number of niggling injuries this year, which probably prevented her from starting other games. But yeah, she's a great product of the pathway. She's played really well within the Bucks team, and she's done really well for the 20s. She's point of difference, probably a line out calling she's very good at, and she's obviously good around the park as well, so I'm looking forward to see her out there today.
Brilliant, star of the future for sure. So turning the tables, what are you expected from Tigers then on their last game, home turf?
We know we're going to get a full-blooded performance. We know Tigers, it's it's obviously a local derby, and they've had the season they've had, and they won't want to finish without a win, so we know they'll be full of enthusiasm, and yeah, we know exactly what we're going to get from them.
Well, best of luck. I hope it goes well, and we can't wait to watch.
Cool. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Thank you.
Well, fantastic. We heard from the coaches there, both wanting to get the win and end on a high. But as we look into Leicester Tigers first, as the focus this afternoon for the Big East Midlands derby against Loughborough, Tigers pack has a familiar look about it. Baverstock, Gunter and Vincent forming the front row. Coleman and Allen in the engine room. Behind them, back row, combination of Russell, Richardson and Farmer provides a blend of physicality, breakdown expertise and carrying power that will be vital in a contest expected to be won up front. One player who will be eager to build on an impressive performance at scrum half is Zara Pickwick, who makes just her second start for Leicester Tigers after crossing for a try and catching the eye of an assured display last week. She links up with USA Eagle Tess Fury at halfback. Midfield, an international pairing, Henrich and Australian McCalman, and then back three, Karakova, Slater and Bitter offers pace, creativity and a finishing ability. Loughborough Lightning, on the other hand, arrive with a strong squad of their own and will look to continue the momentum that they've built in the recent weeks. Up front, starting this week, is Williams at Lucid, alongside Tread and Belial in that front row. Fitzpatrick, the young second row, getting her first start alongside Boyd in the second row. Red Rose's back row unit returning from injury. Captain Hibbert Jones, Cabaya and Luthier is packed with athleticism, and their particular attention on Cabaya, who arrives in excellent form after scoring 2 tries against Saracens last week. At half-back, Davey partners Rowland, who switched with Nelson, who goes to full-back. Centre pairing sees Morel and Kelter back in a normal position after playing blindside flanker last week. Westcombe Evans, Matianga and Nelson provide plenty of attacking quality and counter-attack from deep. Both sides boasting powerful forwards packs, international talent across the back line and plenty riding on local bragging rights. All the ingredients are in place for another fiercely contested East Midlands derby. Okay, and we've got Matt Sharp in the middle, absolute rock star of referees. So, about to kick off Bitter taking off. Kicks off. Loughborough field it, switch it out. Nelson clears the lines. Out to touch. Easy exit there for Nelson.
Purple on the line.
They go straight from the kick-off. One pass and straight out. We got a line out. Just about 15 yards inside the Lightning half. Lightning have been great with line-outs this year.
They have, and they're going to be really strengthened by Hibbert Jones, who's made her way back into the pack after injury. But it's Leicester who take the bragging rights at the line-out. Quick ball, break up the middle. Brilliant line from McCalman, and short support goes from Coleman. They wanted a fast start. Can they get it out? Loose play out to Gunter. Ball from Baverstock, swing back, fast play, managed to get back on it. Richardson, slow ball, taken in, trying to crash over through the forwards.
Away two.
Another drive, Vincent crashes closer, and it's a try for Vincent as she crashes over. Absolute bowling ball drive, and what a start for Tigers.
Oh my gosh, Tigers have set the intention very, very on. I'm looking over at the clock now. There's a minute on the clock, and it was nearly a breakaway try as well. The fact that they tucked it up under their shirts and got the job done over the line. What a sensational start.
Yeah, and it was from this crash through where we saw McCalman, who scored 2 tries last week, put away her support, but just managed to get short. It was Coleman, recycled quick.
Wow, that is an intention, isn't it, for a derby game? As Bitter lines up now, we've got this perfect view behind the kick. Bitter lines up to turn that 5 into 7. But what an unbelievable start. This is exactly what we want from a derby game.
And there we go. Bitter adds the extras. So 7-0 already. 2 minutes on the clock. And what a start from the Tigers, showing real intention from the kickoff. And it was that brilliant burst from Jemima McCalman, who was vital last week. But what a start.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Now, of course, it's a lightning kick in. So the Leicester players have lined up ready to receive.
So Loughborough, what can they do to answer back? Pickwick takes it. Bit of a shin up. Comes off to a opposite number. It's Nelson on the counter-attack.
Roll.
Just not rolling away.
Needs to roll and then 7 off her feet as well.
Yeah, the referees make an early call there.
Joel Green needs to roll.
Setting his intentions out early. So we got Helena Rowland in at fly half, making the swap with Nelson, who will be leaving at the end of the season. Rowland takes the helm. Massive boot, just clears the line. About 8 metres out. Great kick.
Yeah, that's a really great kick. I mean, in the opening minutes of a game when you concede early, the favourite team have conceded there. What a great kick to get some yards for your team, and it's now a lightning throw-in.
So good ball, and it's Cabea runs out, but it's Kelter who runs into referee. Kelter's down.
Yeah.
Still playing through. Hibbert Jones that comes through, crashing ever closer. Referees
12 needs to roll.
Deemed that McCalman needs to roll away. Just coming back.
Sorry, she ran into me, I apologise.
And we were speaking to Matt Sharp earlier, the referee, and he used to be a hooker, then went into the back row and ended up at centre, but it was centre on centre as Kelter ran straight into him.
Sorry, 12. I tried to get out.
Yeah, we spent a bit of time just before the game with the referee, Mr. Kelter, who's a big lad, by the way, covering, I think the most miles he's covered in a game is just over 8 miles, and unfortunately, he's taken a knock from one of the players who's still down at the moment. We've got the physio team checking her out, and yeah, she looks to be relatively uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's not stopping, is it?
Not good. Maybe Alev has just done something to her hand, it looks like, but Alev, of course, started in the back row last week, and she's an absolute machine. She carries really well, drives hard, and then is able to run those hard lines, but you just see her on the outside of the screen, runs that hard line, referee just steps across her in that blocking move, but he's got eyes on the ball, so really unfortunate, but Olive isn't going to go off easily, but she does look in some discomfort. She's getting some strapping on her wrist, but the Olympian and World Cup US Eagle is made of tough stuff. She comes back into her usual position in the centres, and she, would you believe, has beaten 100 defenders. That's pretty impressive, eh?
Yeah, but unfortunately no referees today. The biggest contact of the game so far has been the referee, but she's up and she's moving. I mean, I don't think she's moving that freely by the look of it, but that looked like quite a painful contact.
Right, so we've got tap play. It's a quick tap from the Lightning forwards. Can Lightning strike here, Hibbard? It's a little wraparound we saw last week. Hard line from Sabaya. Kabaya, short, just being caught tight. And Lightning are over. Looks like it's Latui. She dives over, just that quick pick, speed of ball. They went quickly in that set move. We saw them do it against Saracens last week where Kabaya scored. They used her as a dummy runner. And then it's Latui who goes over. The youngster gets a try.
Well, this is a pretty frantic start to a derby game, isn't it? I mean, we've got 5 minutes on the clock and both teams have scored. Obviously, if the Lightning kicker converts this, 7-7 after 5 minutes, exactly what you want from a derby game.
Absolutely, and it's end-to-end stuff. And it was just that recycling there of the ball that they managed just to scrag, and Latui literally just had to dot a couple of inches to get on the scoreboard. So
yeah, it's very, very difficult to defend that when you're only a couple of yards out. Latui's obviously a big physical player, ball in hand, very, very low drive for the try. Hats off. So now roles reverse, and it's Leicester Tigers to kick it back in. I've seen the ball pass to Bitter with those bright orange boots, ready to hopefully kick it deep into the Lightning half.
So Bitter gets us back under the way. There's a hell of a boot deep into the 22, but it's a drive forward by Lightning as they play out. Rowland finds her forwards out the back. Nelson. Swing across. Morale. Driven forward. Kelter back up. No referees in sight this time. Hibbard Jones. Little tip on. Latui. Try scorer.
Yeah. We're going to pass them.
They're loving this little out the back play, but Matt Sharp has just deemed it's too close to the player that's down from Tigers.
Yeah, I think the referee's made a right call there. You know, the ball was moving close to the player that's currently being treated. Physio's on the pitch, 2 physios on the pitch. She looks like she's up and out, though. She's back in the game. But I think the referee stopping the game there is probably for player safety the right thing to do.
Ali Coleman just getting a little bit of treatment there. Born in Berkshire, 5'10", and she's qualified emergency nurse, but she was just needing a little bit of treatment there. Played out in Australia, Melbourne, and Blackrock College as well. A big asset to this Tigers team. But first scrum of the game.
Crouch.
So Baverstock, Gunter, Vincent versus Williams, Treader, Bilal. So Tigers just looking like they're stepping around the corner slightly, but they've managed to get the penalty. That's a hell of a scalp to get. And just seeing Treader just argue with the referee. There was maybe a bit of step around the corner, but referee steaming Lightning to ground. Bitter goes for corner. Of course, last week we saw the drive and Gunter went over. Might see a similar thing here, but look, we're looking back at this scrum. Just see him.
Yeah, that's a real strong scrum from Leicester there. Winning that early penalty and Bitter putting it in the corner gives them a throw in only, 7-8 yards out now?
So they've been really strong with their line-out play. Gunter, 116 line-out throws won. It's first in the league. Can she add to it? She can. Oh, but it's not straight.
Not straight.
So Loughborough opting to compete and makes
Captain,
the referee call the not straight. So just on the outside of the arm. What do you make of that?
Well, I was actually looking at how far in the pitch she was. I was thinking, are you not supposed to stand outside the pitch? She's a good foot in.
Well, we'll check that out next time, but we got another line out just in the same place. This time Treader finds Fitzpatrick.
Those two are fine.
So Latui again. The human cannonball drives forward, spurred on by Cabea. Little switch exit. Rowland finds touch.
Ball's been touched now.
Nice play there.
Green ball. And edge. Those two weren't there. The other side was, but it didn't make a difference.
So, yeah, we're just seeing what you picked up. The Gunter is standing about a foot and a half into the pitch.
Yeah, that feels really cheeky. I mean, the referee's given a penalty the other way because the line-out wasn't straight, but the first thing I saw is that she's a good foot and a half inside.
It seems to be like
gamesmanship.
When I was playing, a lot of this happened. But back into the action, it's a little dummy round the back. Doesn't find Pickwick. Pickwick's up, offloads to Gunter, steps off her left, burrows down. She's like a ferret going up a drain pipe. Pickwick back with the ball. Little out the back there. Great line once again from McColeman. She's a human battering ram. And Vincent, try scorer, bundles forward. Russell. Driving again. Look at this Leicester intent. Really good with ball in hand. Fury out the back. Little chip over from Henrich. Can she get anything back, Aliv?
Oh, it's spilling. The ball is spilling. This is so exciting. Apologies to interrupt.
It's great stuff here as Hibbert Jones carries out swing play back from Rowland, but just a little bit under pressure, but they've given it to the taliswoman. Cabea finds Bationga. Just perhaps overplaying a little. Oh, massive shot coming in. Big double tackle. Coleman and Vincent. You won't want to run into those two down a dark alley.
Side and playing the 9.
Yeah, this game's got a slight edge to it now, hasn't it?
It has, and we'll look at this. So we just see this big shot. They've lined up. They've seen that the tip-on is there. But then Coleman goes and plays 9 and gives away the penalty. Shame for Tigers. That was great defence. And let off for Loughborough.
On the edge.
Yeah, that's a very hefty double tackle there. But we're once again, the ball's out of play, kicked out, and it's a line out just inside the Lightning half. Lightning have the ball ready to throw in.
So great arrows off the top, quick ball. Latui, the chosen option. Why wouldn't you? And she's like a bus flying along. Quick ball out the back. Kelter, Nelson. Ateonga, she's there, she's got the offload. She just gets scragged just short of the 22. Quick ball once again. Fitzpatrick, the England under-21s, impressed against France. Pick and go, knocked on though. It's Tigers' ball coming back for that scrum. What did you make of that little break of play?
I mean, what a great passage of play. You've got a Lightning throw-in just a few yards in their own half, and within 4 or 5 passes, they've not only gained so many yards. It's a shame they knocked on, though. But Latui, oh my gosh, she's like a battering ram.
I have to say, so I on occasion play for Buckingham Swans, and we had a warm-up game against them, and she was an absolute battering ram. There's not many people that bowl me, and I must admit, I felt the force of her, and I was like, this kid's going to play for England, and lo and behold, there she was, a few months later, putting on the England shirt.
I must embarrass myself to say that I have actually seen the Swans play.
Well, there we go.
Live.
Buckingham Swans feeder to Lightning. So look at this scrum. Huge scrum from Lightning. Pretty peeved by the last one. They got the penalty.
Time's off.
Yeah, it looks like another injury from the result of that scrum. I'm not sure which player that is down.
I think it might be Emerson Allen, but hugely under pressure, and they just go over the top. Ball spits out. Russell dives on it, but penalty's already given.
Yeah, I thought it might be.
Just some interesting angles going in on that front row. All the dark arts, and I can't talk about it too much as lead commentator because I might get people turning off. But for the scrum purists, this is a hell of a battle going on.
Yeah, I think that's 1-1 in the bragging rights in the front row. You know, Tigers getting that first penalty from outpowering the Lightning front row, and then the Lightning front row come back to them. 1-1, bragging rights on the fronts.
Well, what you wouldn't want to be Emerson Allen underneath that pile of bodies as you've got 6 front row on top of you. But she's back up, getting a bit of treatment on her elbow. And here we have a hell of a ding-dong going on, ma'am.
Yeah, 13 minutes are on the clock. It's even 7-7 at scoreline. And it has that kind of derby feel about it, doesn't it? Because, you know, last game of the season, you know, there's not a lot to play for, except the bragging rights of the local team. And it has a real kind of cup feel about it. It's very aggressive.
Yeah, for sure. And we know that Tigers are going to want to finish on a high.
On the line.
But
On the
it's
line.
Loughborough who've made their way to the 5 metre line. So we saw Cabella wander off on the last one. Kelter on the hard line. Looks like she's staying out the way now. Tail of the line out. No contest. Cabella tips toes round and finds the try line. What a finish from Cabella. We knew she was going to get her hands on the ball, but fantastic feet. She's so elusive around that breakdown area. Gets the fend away. Steps to her left, burrows through, gets the try. What a finish from the England Open side.
Yeah, fantastic feet, you know, straight out the line out, one pass in, and, you know, she did have a lot of work to do. You know, there's still defenders there to beat, and she did the sidestep. And, you know, what a powerful lady there to get that try. Look at that replay. You know, she's got a lot of work to do there. And at the end, you know, when she grounds the ball, she's got 3 or 4 defenders on her.
Brilliant finish from Cabella, who scored 2 tries last week, 1 try this week, and converted by Rowland. So, reminder of the scores now: 7 to Tigers, 14 to Loughborough. But it's just the way that she spun out of that last tackle as well, and she's really fast as she went round.
I mean, once she gets that ball low and has eyes on the try line, you know, it takes an awful lot of defending to stop that.
It does indeed, and that was her 11th try of the season for Lightning.
Now, Bitter has kicked the kick-off straight back. And that's a deep kick, and returns straight now back into Tigers' hands.
So it's Fury, has a little run, can play full-back as well.
Give a step.
Pressures on this ruck. Just timing there. Pickwick manages to find her target though. So Allen takes it forward. Quick ball. Henrich, first receiver, back inside to McColeman. A little slower ball now. Coleman drives through it.
Pink.
So knock on, turnover ball. What can Lightning do here, Hibbard? Kelter, big pass out. Just tracking down the short side, Nelson. Great clear from Westcombe. Driving him. Young Kiwi Fitzpatrick really starting to get her name known. Quick ball. Some tapped out her hand though.
First knock on.
Knock on.
Scrum.
against Belial.
Huh? No, that's fellows from your place.
That was a series of two knock-ons there. Obviously, the referee's gone to the first offence first, meaning that a scrum is given and it is a Leicester Tigers put-in. It's kind of settled down a bit now.
It has, and we're just seeing them trying to get through the phases. Lightning here, but some really hard work gone in from Tigers this week on their defensive efforts. Have been under a bit of pressure previously. So Leicester played Harlequins last week.
Bind!
made 127 tackles, 33 missed. But back to the scrum. It's got its own storyline itself, but massive pressure coming in from Belial, who drives forward. Advantage kicked. Is there anything going to come back from this? No, referee's coming back. Davey.
I've done this before. Yeah, so my mistake.
Gosh, that's powerful from the Loughborough scrum there. It feels like they're starting to get the edge over Leicester up front.
So I blew it a little bit too early.
So
50-22.
Referee's given the 50-22. So quick turnover ball. Davey picks up. Great little nudge in her own half and gets the 50-22.
Get hands in the scrum.
But 12 metres away from the try line. So back up here. They've got to make sure they mark Cabea. But is Kelter hunting now? But it's back into Russell's hands. The little cannonball goes through. She needs support. Kelter over the top. But not supporting her weight.
No, she was trying to get her feet out.
So,
I'll keep an eye out. I'll keep an eye out.
Just seeing this, the overthrow into Russell's hands. A little step. Runs straight into Kelter.
Do you want me to reverse it? I know I never do, but I'll keep an eye out for you.
Referee's just having a little talk with the Tigers. And Bitter aims as if she's going to kick it straight into the commentary box.
On the edge.
It's a great nudge.
Yeah, I saw your eyes light up then when the rugby ball starts coming your way. You want to get back out there.
Head down, scrum out on, ready to go. I'm sat in comms with my scrum out. It's all good.
Yeah, get me on, coach. I've got my boots.
I'm ready. Right, back to Gunter in the line out. Little dummy at the back, but straight to the front. Quick ball. Farmer takes out Henrich. Just doesn't find Bitter. Slater manages to do the mopping up. But knock on there. So that's tough for Tigers, but a good attacking position for Loughborough.
Yeah, that's incredibly frustrating, isn't it? They get the ball back within 4 or 5 passes. It was the miss pass that caused the error.
And it was clever play by Kelter, who actually batted the ball out of Slater's hands, which meant it was a knock on. So Kelter using all her experience. The Olympian, ex-Saracens player, but really a huge part of the cog in this Lightning attack.
Yeah, it feels like with Lightning now kind of dominating in the forwards. This is a scrum put in to Lightning in the 22. And, of course, here we are. They retain possession.
So it's a good scrum out the back. Rowland searches for Kelter, but it's turnover ball. They've got 3 people, but she just tries to go over the top, but managed to retain it again. McColeman.
Knock on there, first one.
Knock on. Well, there was a glimmer of hope, wasn't there? So we just see the replay.
I was edging towards the edge of my seat then because they very nearly picked the pocket of Lightning then, and this pass over the top, fortunately intercepted on behalf of Loughborough, but they're the fine margins. If they make that pass, they're going to be 2-on-1 with a clear line of sight to the try line in front of them.
Yeah, this is the thing with Tigers. It's coming, isn't it? There's some really good glimpses, and it's just about, as Fraser Gotcha said, about playing for 70 minutes of the game rather than just little patches. And it's not forcing it, which is something they need to work on. Scrum is under a bit of pressure. Pickwick finds Bitter, but Bitter manages to scramble and kick it out. Get away with it.
Yeah, I'm just going to pick up on what you said there because, I've been following Leicester Tigers this season, and you're right, there is an ember of positivity there. There are moments where you just know one day it's going to click. I mean, I went to the Harlequins game last week, and to put down 29 points and lose the game.
There's a prop down.
The hardest thing to do in sport is to score points, and it just feels like one day everything's going to fall into place for them.
Yeah, I absolutely believe that, and the investment that's gone into Tigers for next year, they're going to have 10 full-time staff, so they really want to make it a really professional outfit, and they've got some big signings on their way. We've already seen a few announced, and they're retaining 70% of their squad, so they're able to build. There's a good feeling in this Leicester Tigers squad.
I'm going to keep an eye.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, ultimately, any good team needs that foundation year, and it feels to me like they have built some foundations this season. Now, the arc of being a positive side is certainly trending in the right direction, and at moments, and I'll go back to last week's game again, at moments they really did outplay the other team. They deserved all of those 29 points. And there's been glimmers in this game as well, but mopping up some of those handling errors and just that last bit of luck as well.
Absolutely, and it was Vincent trying to score a Truro goal. 34th appearance today from Hartbury.
Short gap though, Pink, yeah?
15 appearances so far this season. Just getting a bit of treatment, but off the top. Double missed pass out the back by Westcombe Evans. Shins it forward. Matanga with the ball. But referee's deemed she's offside and in front of the kick. So a let off for Tigers. McColeman thought about the quick tap.
Yeah, that does feel like a bit of a let off. But, the ball's in Bitter's hands now. An opportunity to gain some yards.
Yeah, you'd imagine that Tigers are going to want to take a little bit of the tempo and keep possession. So, just seeing this replay. Look at this, missed passes both the Red Roses threats. Little tap forward, but Matanga is just in front of the ball as it comes off Westcombe shin.
So once again, a Leicester Tigers throw in. Been really consistent in the line-outs this season. I did look at some of the stats. It's quite remarkable, actually.
Yeah, they have relied on their line-out. They've got some good tries from line-out drives. But we're back into action. Kelter finds Nelson. Little wraparound. Kelter back down that short side. The USA truck is trucking its way forward. But talking of trucks, here's another lorry driving forward. M25, eat your heart out. Going through. Little miss. Here we go. Fitzpatrick bowls through. Brave tackle by McColeman. Quick ball. Can they get it out to Rowland? Little stab through. Bitter manages to get back up. Drive forward. The enforcement comes back. Emerson Allen drives up to the 22, looking for a clean exit.
Please.
Straight. Decent clearance. About 25 metres out, but good exit.
Yeah, I mean, Loughborough losing possession there and relying on Bitter to kind of mop that up, retain possession, make sure it gets back into the Tigers team. But again, we're straight back in with a line-out restarting.
So it's driven forward.
No hands, Green. Good.
Quick ruck. Counter ruck comes in, though. Davey has a little shoot round the edge. Cabaya. Pick and go. Still manages to find her way through. Trying to do the old 7 style and get back up. She does. Little step off her left, off her right. Can she go? Back inside to Daisy. Hibbert-Jones. Short ball. Daisy Latui, and she drives over yet again for a second try. Here she goes, ding dong. If Cabaya can do it, so can Latui. What a finish. And it all started off with Cabaya's footwork, but Latui finishes with a grand finish.
Yeah, it's another try where footwork really comes into play. I mean, Latui's such a strong player. I mean, she's a real standout so far in the game, and we're 25 minutes in. And it feels a shame that it comes off the back of a line-out. All these tries have been under the post, so I'm assuming that there's going to be an extra 2 points converted here. And sure enough, she safely puts the ball between the posts, earning those extra 2 points. But look at this footwork, incredibly quick, offloads it quickly and then backed up by an incredibly powerful player. And, even 2-on-1, 2 yards out, there's only going to be one outcome. It's 5 points.
Well, it's the speed of ball that does the damage as well, isn't it?
Time's off. 1 number.
Yeah, there she is. I mean, very, very calm. She knows exactly what she's doing when she's a few yards out. And once again, Tigers regroup, restart, reline up, ball back in hand to kick.
Well, the scary thing is, this is only Ala Latua's 24 game of senior rugby, club and country. She leads the carrying stats coming into the game, 234 carries this season, where she's first, and 339 metres post-contact. She's an absolute weapon when she carries.
Yeah, that is remarkable stats. But, you know, having seen her live now, I'm not surprised. I mean, such a powerful player.
She is. Ball's back into Fury's hands, kicks it back down the throat of Rowland, finds Nelson. Nelson shifts it across, 2 passes to midfield. Morale, crossfield, going for that 50-22, just managed to be filled by McColeman. Bitter exits. Nice little bit of play there, bit of intent from Loughborough.
On the edge, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a deep kick. You know, when you're on top, now, you know, the scoreline is getting a bit of gap between, there's a bit of light between the 7 to 21. You know, kicking deep into your opponent's half is always going to challenge them. It is a great kicking battle between the two teams.
It really is, and some really good rugby smarts here.
I know the feeling.
From Nathan Smith as well, who's getting his team moving around the park so well.
There's been a lot of line-out so far. There's a lot of ball in the hands of the kickers, and the fact that Lightning are actually creating from their line-outs.
That's it, it's all about the territory, but here we are.
3 outs, 3 green.
The Lightning steam train rolls on.
3 out. Penalty advantage.
That is brought down by Emerson Allen.
Advantage,
Penalty advantage. It's a
Yeah,
quick tap from
leave
Davey.
it.
She's left through. She's just
Penalty
caught a
advantage.
couple of metres out. Oh, could we see Latui? No, it's a little dummy. Round to that far side. Cabaya once again so close.
No, short.
Just
Short.
keeps it short. Latui,
Short again.
little pick and go. Hibbert Jones wants a piece of the action. Her other 2 back row players have scored. Davey, missed pass out wide. Drives forward, and what a finish. Bo Westcombe Evans dives over in the corner.
Back for a bit 10.
Great finish from Westcombe Evans. She missed most of 24-25 season with her ACL, but she's earned herself a couple of Red Roses caps. And this is her 12th try this season. What a finish. But it was Davey who started things off.
Yeah, it felt like we were going to have a repeat of the earlier tries. You know, Lightning have put themselves in a position to get the strong girls a couple of yards out and dive it over. You know, here they are retaining the possession, edging closer and closer to that try line, and here we are anticipating that they're going to get one of the stronger girls in, and then all of a sudden they fool everybody and go for the longer pass, bypassing a ton of players and put it down in the corner. What a fantastic try.
12th try for Westcombe Evans before she departs the African Violets, but she's a real asset to them, the youngster. But conversion just missed, just short.
Yeah, and it's a familiar restart now for Leicester Tigers, who line up once again to kick the ball back into their opponent's half and brace themselves for the wave that is coming, because it feels like steadily this Loughborough side are building and accumulating points against this Leicester team.
It does. 30 minutes gone, but massive boot back. It just seems to be a similar story. Kick-off, boots it back, get the turnover in the right area.
Pink on the line, the edge of the line.
Tigers need to get hold of possession now.
Yeah, after that promising start, you know, Tigers being the... Yeah, Tigers scoring very, very early, first couple of minutes of the game, and then it's roles reversed, and it's now been a game of very strong kicking, very strong line-outs, and you know, it feels like this Loughborough team have a real handle on it now.
I know 7's gone off, I just need this a little bit quick. She's going to have 5.
So,
Okay,
in
5.
case you missed that, there's been a yellow card to Morgan Richardson, who high tackled as the try has been scored. So Tigers down to 14.
Gosh, that feels like a really tough blow for Tigers to concede the try and lose a player in a game against your local rivals that you're losing.
Tigers now have to play into this half out with 14, but Pickwick. Box kick, Chase is under. Knock on from below. Big, strong carry coming from Phoebe Andrews as she bowls forward. Emerson Allen takes it, drives on. Baverstock. A little bit of country dancing out the back. Knock on from Lightning.
Potential knock on 13, Pink.
Kelter with the knock on, going for that intercept. Think she's lucky?
No, I think that felt like a deliberate knock on to me. That was the dark arts.
Well, we'll have a look potentially on a replay, but Tigers march forward.
Yeah, I think when we see the replay for that knock on, we're going to see a quite deliberate, strategic knock on in that position, because it felt like Tigers were going to move the ball quite quickly and try and maybe get a run on the overlap. Yeah, so look, watch.
Here we see, just gets that left hand up. Paw in the way. Referees allowed her to play on, but Emerson gets the ball out. Good attacking position. Drive through. The Coleman yet again. Rolls back up to her feet. Coleman. Vincent. Just got to get to floor. Drive forward. Russell putting in some real graft. McColeman driving Emerson Allen forward. Can they retain this possession and get an important try? Ball out wide. Fury does a little crossfield straight to Westcombe Evans. She's got gas. Can she get around? No, she's caught. Great tackle from Slater, using the touchline as well. Brilliant work from Slater. Westcombe Evans maybe just takes a knock there. But Fury, she's seen Lightning fly up, so opts for the little crossfield dink. But it's a great tackle from Slater, who'd been out with injury, with a hand injury. But she's back.
Yeah, I think on reflection, keeping the ball in hand would have been the best thing to do in that position. Was that a miss kick? It felt like once she made the decision to make a kick, it felt like a miss kick because it went straight down the throat of possibly the fastest player on the pitch.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't want to kick a ball straight down to by Westcombe Evans, but it is a little. She thinks about the pass. You see Loughborough getting the eye line.
Yeah, this has been one of my criticisms of Tigers this season, is that if you have the ball, your opponent can't hurt you. Stop giving the ball away. And, to kick it straight down your opponent's lap. It feels like this is a time to get some, put your hands on the ball, keep it, get possession, have a period of play that turns into yours. So I think on reflection, that is not the right decision.
Allen, driven forward. Gunter. Hibbert Jones being told to get out. It's a great drive as they rumble on. Allen with the ball. Needs to get to floor before she's held up. Gets her knee to floor. Good thinking. Quick ball out the back. Finds Henrich. Drives forward once again. Can they get quick ball from this?
Use it.
Gunter slowing it down. Little step back into the traffic. McCalman's on the outside supporting. Russell yet again in a breakdown. Baverstock drives forward. What can they do? Can they knock at this door? Russell getting ever closer. Can they draw a penalty out the back? Fury with a little chip over. Who's there? Can they get it? And they, what a finish! It's fantastic from Henrik. It's that little pairing, the USA combo. Fury, Henrik, what a finish.
That's unbelievable. Here we are just moments ago criticising Fury for making a bad decision to try and do a little kick over the side. And do you know what confidence she's got? Because, you know, the worst thing to do would then be to not repeat what you know you're good at. And that's exactly what she's done. She's taken that gamble for the second time. So instead of stifling herself, losing that confidence, she's taken that gamble, tiny little kick over the top. And do you know what? The bounce just went your way. I think it actually hit the post. Yes, right there. You see it's hit the post and it's come off the post, and that's given her that half chance, that half opportunity. But you've still got to ground it. There's still a lot to do there.
Well, that was brilliant play by Fury, really showing her class. But Henrik, who has been everywhere on the pitch today, but a real asset to this Tigers team, the ex-aerial skier, played in the WER last year, really impressed there, and the USA Eagle, flying finish.
Do you know what? You can replay that as many times as you like. It's so interesting because it comes off the back of that moment where they made a bad decision to kick, Fury. And you just need that slice of luck. And having followed Tigers all season, it's always felt like they haven't had the rub of the green. It felt like, you know, the beginning of the season, that would have hit the post and gone the other way. So is this, as a Tigers fan, the turning of the tide? Because that's what you need in sports. You need it to go and bounce your way. And look at it. They'll keep replaying it because it's just such a brilliant moment. And also a really important time to score in the game. We're 35 minutes in, entering the 36th minute. And look at those Tigers players surrounding the try scorer. Fantastic.
Oh, Henrik just taking a breath there.
Oh, someone else, okay.
We just having treatment. As I think it might be Alan who's just catching her breath. But this is a really good statement of intent here from Tigers. When, like you said earlier, keep the ball, and that's what they've done. And they managed to, they had a little bit of the luck as well off the side of the post, but it was the hard carries from the forwards that got round the corner over the gain line. Baverstock who carried forward, Vincent, Coleman, Allen just really putting their way through it. And Jordan Russell got everywhere in every breakdown. I'd love to see our stats, but kicking off again, Bitter with the exit. Massive boot. Takes him up to 10-metre line.
Yeah, it's interesting you talk about luck because, you know, one argument is that is lucky. You've got the bounce, it's hit the post and it's just gone your way. And you could see that the defender had no chance once it bounced off the post. But the player still has a lot to do, still has to put the ball down. And the intention isn't lucky. The intention is to penetrate in your opponent's half, and that's exactly what they've done. So the rub of the green, whatever you call it, it happens in sports. When you have your waves, you take your chances, and that's what Tigers have done. They took their chance.
Oh, it's a contested line out. Was a knock on.
Look at that. You can actually, the first time the crowd have actually created some noise. It's a home crowd here, final game of the season, and winning that turnover, the crowd are right behind it as well. Look at that.
So it was good.
It's been a while since the scrum, so patience and balance.
Competition.
And patience, balance, and height.
Allen goes up, gets in the eye line of Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, she's holding on there. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's holding on, trying to pivot on the floor to try and retain possession. The referee's right there. He knows what's going on. That's a weak penalty by Lightning. And they deserve to be punished for it.
So, Scrum has been under pressure a little bit. Quick ball in, Pickwick. Finds Fury out the back. Wrap around, good play. McCalman finds her way through, gets the handoff on Kelter. Can she finish? It's a worldie of a try if she can. She's driven forward 10 metres out. Quick ball, they've got to put the hammer down. Tess Fury, she goes through, can she finish? She gets the offload, and what a finish! Carragova, what a try!
That is unbelievable.
Lightning Leicester team. We're so excited, we're getting confused, we're talking over each other. It is a hell of a game here at Mattioli Woods.
I'm on my feet here. It's so emotional. This is unbelievable. I mean, what a fantastic solo run there. I completely lost. Look, we're gonna replay it. Look, it comes out of that scrum incredibly quickly. They move it even quicker. But it's this moment here. It's this moment where she fakes that dummy pass, dives between the two defenders, slight handoff, but she gains yards. Here you think it's over. Here you think the defenders have done their job and stalled play. But actually, no. Leicester are there. 2 quick passes. Quick dummy on the inside. Could have been selfish there. She could have really stumbled over, but she didn't. And that moment tells me that this Leicester team are together. The fact that she's passed that try, and look at them, crowding around each other, because that's the try of the day so far. And again, what a great time to score, 39th minute. Wow, what a game.
What a game. Kasikova, beautiful finish. Unselfish from Fury, the captain. But it was McCollman, the Australian with 5 caps, who made the initial bust and then gave the unselfish pass out to Fury. Now you can see the Tigers' tails are up.
Yeah, I'm on my feet then as well. It's kind of embarrassing, really, because here I am. Look, I'm dancing around because, I mean, look at that moment there. That tiny little feint completely outstrips the defenders there. And it's at this point here that you think it's over. The defenders have done their work, but no. The first people to mop it up are the Tigers. Yeah, that's a fantastic try. That is the try of the game so far. I hope we're going to get tries like that for the rest of the game in the second half.
Well, it's an absolute worldie of a try, but Tigers really want to stop Lightning getting over for one before half-time. It's 26-19 to Lightning. And on the stadium clock, we're on half-time, but we're going off referees, Matt Sharp's whistle.
Yeah, this is that dominant possession for Lightning. You know, that it feels like when they have possession, either a line out or a scrum now, in the 22 is where they can cause real damage. And this will be the worst time for Tigers to concede.
Well, Tigers are back up to full complement now. But quick ball out the back. Morale, little fumble. Roland, Asionga takes it in. Managed to keep possession. Latui. Raging ball goes forward. Can they get quick ball? Tigers have to be ready for this. Swing back. Tip on. Latui takes 2 out.
Yeah, it feels at this time Tigers are praying for that half-time whistle.
It's a lovely little play. Bo Westcombe-Evans on the edge from Morale. Quick ball back in. Can they get some line speed? Latui. Little tip on. Finds Belial. Out to the 22. Defence staying strong. Fitzpatrick just goes behind Nelson. Driven forward. Boyd taking it forward once again. Swing back to the short side. Roland. And the knock-on comes. Bo Westcombe-Evans. Is this the time for half-time? It is. And
wow, what a fantastic ending to the first half. And you know, it just occurred to me as well that score happened with only 14 players on the pitch.
It did, yeah. They certainly, but that was it. It was keeping possession, wasn't it? And it almost, the scrum was so quick. Sarah Pickwick flew the ball out, and then it was McCollman who was quick thinking, glided through that gap. And then quick play. That's one of the things I'm seeing through the PWR. The team that can play on top, the team that can play fast, are generally the team that are going to take the spoils.
There's an interesting moment there. The Leicester Tigers team have exited the pitch quite quickly, but the Lightning team, they lingered. They lingered in a huddle. There was obviously some words being said there. I'm assuming the captains just gathered them for a second before coming in for the half-time catch-up. But that was really strange. There was some dynamic in the team there that kept the Lightning team out for a second. They were huddled together, obviously having a private conversation.
Well, we're just going to run to a short break, and then we're going to bring you the first half analysis in a few moments. New era.
Help tackle breast cancer. Breast cancer now. the official partner of Premiership Women's Rugby.
Tackling breast cancer together. Text TACKLE to 70025 to donate £5 to breast cancer now.
Well, we are back into the thick of it. It has been 26 points to 19 to Loughborough Lightning, but Leicester Tigers have come back strong in those last 5 minutes. It's 4 tries to Loughborough, 3 tries to Tigers, and we're going to have a look at the highlights and bringing you all the action.
Yeah, it's a pair of Tigers bookends. You know, they score incredibly early here. This is only in the first minute or two of the game, and this kind of breakaway try right near the post as well. And you know, they move the ball so quickly, real intent in an early derby game. You know, bear in mind we're only a minute or two in.
So they're just driving forward close to the line, and then it's here. They bowl through their forwards, and then it's Vincent who drives forwards.
Yeah, this is an early intention. Look, putting it down there on the line, and then of course Lightning need a comeback. They need an answer for that early try, and that is exactly what they did. I mean, powerful play here. You know, look at the volume of defenders that are there to defend it, but as soon as it's in hand here, it's inevitable. You know, she's such a strong player.
Great finish from Latui, and it's Cabea who comes round that back of the line out on this. She's not stopped and manages to burrow a way forward. Just uses that footwork and fend to spin out of the contact. Gets down, 3 players on top of her.
Yeah, and here at the line-out, I feel like the line-outs have been a story of this first half. You know, Lightning have created chances and scored chances based on the line-outs. So powerful in that ball in hand and penetrating inside that Tigers 22. Yeah, this is a Cabea. I mean, look at that sidestep. Very quick, agile, fast feet, fast hands, recycle quickly. 3-on-1 isn't enough because once you're in that position, ball in hand, it is inevitable. And I think this has been the story of the first half. Is, you know, they've caused real damage to the Tigers' defence by gaining yards, getting it near the try line. And as soon as it's in hand, it's so hard to defend against that.
Pick and going through the forwards, but it's Davey who opts for the big miss pass over the top. Westcombe Evans finishes off, but it was Tigers who wanted to have the last say.
Well, this is, I think, for me, this stands as a really interesting turning point in the Tigers season. You know, watching this team play over the last few months, it felt like that would have been a try that would have hit the post and gone the other way. But that stroke of luck really put them in. But this is the try of the half. Here, I mean, fantastic run. Splits the 2 defenders in half, steps on the inside, slight little hand up. And it's at this point you think the phase is over, but it's not. This, instead of it being defendable, the first people at that breakdown are the Tigers. And she could have scored there. She could have stumbled over, but she passed it to her teammate to pick up the glory. And that is the best try of the half so far. And look at the team as they gather to celebrate. And what a great way to enter a half time. You always want to be on top when you end the first half. But what a fantastic half of rugby. I'm kind of out of breath. I jumped up and down a couple of times during that.
I'd love to see your Fitbit to see how you're getting on with that heart rate. But it's not only your heart rate that's at stake at the moment, because we've got other games going on, and we can take a look at where we're at the moment. Remember, these games are in game at the moment. It's around about the half-time mark for everybody. So we've got Chiefs in the lead against Sale, 24-12. Hartbury are losing against Bristol. Now that could be a massive story. So Gloucester Hartbury, obviously they've got their first in the league status, so they'll have the home semi-final. But Bristol Bears are leading at the moment. Tigers just 1 try in it, 19-26 to Lightning, and Saracens doing a job on trail finders at the moment as they're leading the way 40 points to 7. Well, Anne, that was an incredible first half, wasn't it? We had you jumping out your seats. It was insane. 4 tries to 3 in favour of Loughborough. But how impressed are you with Tigers?
Well, this is the thing about being a Tigers fan throughout this season is that, when you're a fan of sports and you choose your team, ultimately your glass is always full. You enter every game with rose-tinted glasses and you always think, today we're going to win, today we're going to win. And do you know what? Those burning embers of promise that Tigers have shown in glimpses throughout games this season seem to be coming together. And there's some key moments where you think, is it going to change? The ball hitting the post, the making a kick when you had your first choice to miss kick. I'm actually being trolled by my daughter in the background here. I'm trying to do a professional job. Please leave. So it feels like, is this the moment? Because wouldn't it be amazing for Tigers to end the season with a win? Because they've been chasing that all year.
It would, and that could be a huge thing. So we're just going to have a quick replay of that last try at the moment. So look at this. The speed the ball comes out. So Pickwick comes out, but look at the bottom of the cam. We've got Ant's reactions here. So it's the breakaway from McCallman, and he's up in his seat.
Yeah, this is embarrassing.
He's stepping off. He's doing cartwheels. I'm up and down. It's the hot seat, but look at him going. He is absolutely buzzing. He nearly knocks me off the seat. We're having a look, and what a finish. Well, there we go.
I mean, that's humiliating, isn't it? That's embarrassing. Here we are, supposed to be doing a professional job. The PWR have invited me to be a guest today and commentate, and there I am behaving like a 12-year-old fan who's seen rugby for the first time. But what a fantastic try. And, do you know what? I'm hoping, like any fan does, I'm hoping that those tiny little embers of success that we've seen in the first half of Tigers converts into their first win of the season. Wouldn't it be fantastic? Because, yes, I've got skin in the game. My daughter plays for this team, so I know some of the stuff that goes on in the background, the pre-season, the vision for the team, the togetherness in the team, and to take a victory in the last game of the season into pre-season and into next year, I think would be a tremendous... It'd be more than a win. It would just be such a monumental thing for this Tigers team, and do you know what? They deserve it.
Well, Anne is doing cartwheels about Tigers potentially getting their first win of the season, but I'm going to try and stay impartial. And as we head into the second half, you guys go and refill your cups of tea, get a biscuit. We're going to come back. We'll have a quick Mars bar and maybe a cuppa ourselves. We'll see you in the second half.
I'm better in my new era.
Make checking your breast regularly a habit of a lifetime. Touch. Look.
Check.
Touch. Look. Check.
Touch your breasts.
Look for changes.
Check anything new or unusual with a GP.
Touch.
Look.
Check. Together, let's kick breast cancer into touch.
Competing for Leicester and the PWR is everything I've worked towards. Proud to represent the people of Leicester. We are Leicester Tigers. Leicester's different. It comes with years worth of heritage and I can't wait to represent them. I'm proud to represent my family, my hometown and just working together with a team to get the wins.
I'm looking forward to proving people wrong and showing that the underdogs can come out on top.
Power, passion, pride. Come on, Tigers.
We are Loughborough Lightning. This is our town. This is our home.
Loughborough have a young and community feel when it comes to the fans.
Strong. Fearless.
Electric. Ones to watch this season are Alan Latei and Sadia Kapea.
I'm going to bring us tackle, fast-paced, tries, good rugby.
New era.
Leicester, we're back into action as Leicester Tigers made a fast and furious return, getting themselves back in at 26-19, just a try in it. There's going to have been some chats at half-time. Who's going to come back stronger? So, Lightning 4 tries, Tigers with 3, but it was the big flurry from Tigers. Can they take that into the second half? But it's Fury who's on the ball, takes it up, looking for an exit.
Use it, please.
Pickwick going for the box, short, but can Baverstock's underneath it, goes back, little swing back down that short side, and it's a bowling ball back inside. Good attacking play, just getting over the 22. Out the back, Bitter with a big pass out. Henrik, little tip on Daly, but a knock on there.
Yeah, that's a pretty frantic restart. I think a knock-on probably saved Tigers then because there was an overlap. But what was really, here it is playing here. They felt like very rushed, quick pass, bad pass to hands, and they relied on them. But what I really noticed, look at this kickoff. You couldn't actually see it in that replay there, but it looked like the Loughborough player shaped up to click left and then last second changed their mind and kicked right, trying to catch the Tigers team out, which it didn't. It landed quite nicely, well handled, well received, and Tigers got quite a lot of yardage then. Yeah, here's that kickoff again. See, she shapes up, quick turn, changes her mind, kicks it right. Do you think that's a bit of gamesmanship?
I think it'll just be her usual routine, whether she finds the space, but penalty given away by Tigers, and just losing her feet. Goes to floor, easy penalty. It's good return from Lightning. As Rowland finds the corner. Now this is a danger moment for Tigers.
Yeah, what we've learned from the first half is that Lightning are incredibly dangerous in this situation. We've got the line out right in the middle of the 22, and they seem to create, at least make yards here, and of course retain possession in the line out.
Fitzpatrick. Great take, still rolling around the corner. It's tight. Vincent being told to leave. It's Richardson who manages to get through. It's Davey. Spills forward. There's a forward set to go to work. Cabaya acts as 9. Repelled from the Tigers' defence. Counter-up coming in against Latui. She's not having any of it. Belial with a pick and go. Good defensive effort coming from Tigers. Cabaya wants her hands on the ball. Can she get another one? Swings back. Open side v blind side. Russell makes the break. It's a driven back. Little stab through.
Yeah, I think defensively that's really good. That cheeky little kick, trying to emulate what Tigers did in the first half. They've been unfortunate, actually, because it looks like the referee's actually given a penalty in Lightning favour. I thought Leicester had tidied that up then.
It did, but I think it was Bitter got hold of it and then was done for holding on. So quick over the ball. That's a great turnover from Bo Westcombe-Evans. But Latui makes her way forward. Out the back. Just millimetres away. Who's on it? It's another pick to the right-hand side. Latui yet again. Cabaya. Can she get away to the try line? She's millimetres away. Referee shouting hands off. Who's going to take it forward? And it's driven forward. And it's Hibbert Jones, the captain, who's back in after injury. But what a finish from Captain Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm not going to be impartial in this state. It feels to me like that Bitter decision, it feels very harsh.
Is that bitter in your mouth?
Yes, it's left a bitter taste in my mouth because it feels like the referee only gave a fraction of a second and then awarded the penalty. And of course, it goes on to cause a try. And if if I don't know if we've got the replay for Bitter appearingly to mop it up. It felt like the Leicester players had got themselves around the ball, remained on their feet, shielded it quite correctly, and this does feel, as you say, like a bitter pill to swallow. I mean, solid, great start for Lightning.
Rowland adds the extras. So, from what seemed really close a few moments ago, they've just managed to claw away 33-19. 2 tries in it, but with...
Yeah, look at this. You see, this is a replay. This is leading up to the try. Lightning make this decision to kick the ball. The ball is loose. Bitter collects it, and there is a nanosecond. Look, that's a strong position. Everybody's on their feet, and the referee awards a penalty there. That felt harsh to me.
I guess it depends if the referee deemed that she'd survived the clear out. And yeah, some referees are a little bit faster, some a little bit slower, and that's what you have to recognise early on. But back into the action. Single person lift into Kelter's hands though. Kelter tracks forward. Henrich. It's an all-American affair at the moment. Quick ball from Loughborough as they're playing out their 22, hitting the talisman. Cabaya. Rowland out the back. Morale. Driven forward to that far side. Is there holding on?
Well, at least he's consistent there. A nanosecond for holding on. But hey, if that's the tempo of the game and both teams are given the same treatment, then fair enough.
Well, that's what you want from a referee, consistency. But it was a great turnover. Was that McCalman, I think? 12. She got 3 turnovers last week, and I would put money on it. It was her.
Now that is a sensational kick. You know, tight angles. Always hard to kick when you've got a tight angle to touch. It's easier if you've got the angle in your favour to exit. But that is a fantastic... What are we, 5, 6, but maybe 8 yards out from the try line with the Tigers put in?
And this is a really important moment. They need to get this score. Can keep it close. They're going to generally come strong in the second half. So, first thing's done. It's 1 at the front. Gunter's on the ball. Anna wins it. Driven forward. Still edging their way forward. It's still moving. Gunter, can she get over? She's driven forward and she's over the top. And what a finish from Gunter as they drive forward. Massive celebrations from the Tigers. Might be a little bit of afters as well. Can't quite see. Oh, there's a hell of a Royal Rumble going in.
Oh, it's a scuffle going on now.
All the forwards are in there. And it's Daly who's throwing some claws down.
Yeah, this is a derby. This is okay. We should just let this stuff go because there is some local passion, local pride here. But you know what? A great time to score.
What a finish. And that was much needed. But just, you see, lovely transfer to Russell. Gunter gets on it. And look at that patience. She doesn't run off. It's still moving forward. It's great work from Vincent.
Yeah, she's stalking there, head above the crowd. Fantastic. I'd love to see that replay again because she's got ball in hand. She's totally in control. She knows that she's got the rest of the forwards creating a battering ram for her, and she's just got to head up. She's like a meerkat, looking over the top, ball in hand, waiting for that moment.
Yeah, she did it last week as well, didn't she? Against Quinn so well, just bided her time.
Well, I'm looking at the positivity from last week because Tigers won the second half last week against Quins, and that was a really good Quins team. I don't know if we can get that replay again. It was a really controlled. First of all, the kick put Tigers in a try-scoring position. It put them in an opportunity to get within arm's length. And just quickly, Beta has converted that try. That is an important 2 points. But
Well, so talk us through then. We're going to see a replay of this line-out drive.
Well, first of all, they get themselves into a position. Here she is, right at the back there, ball in hand. Now look, she's looking. She's also contributing to the push. She's calm. She's looking. The defensive players trying to pull her in there. She's not having any of it. She's just saying, create a gap for me, create a space, move these people out of the way. I'm like Moses. Boom, try, move on.
Well, you just saw in the bottom hand of your shot once again, Ant is showing his allegiance when...
I am being an impartial commentator. Yeah. I am not making it very clear which team I'd like to win.
As he's doing his celebrations. But if you didn't tune in the first half, we've got Ant Anstead on co-commissary, and of course he is a familiar name, or the surname is, in the Tigers household, as his daughter plays Amelie. We've seen her floating around. She's doing some pitch runs earlier, wasn't she?
Yeah, it's interesting because last season she played for Loughborough.
Well, there you go.
They're dead to me now.
You move on quick, dear.
Done. They're moved on. Go Tigers.
Well, I'll bring you both sides of the coin. It's back into it, the thick of it. The dark arts are coming. It's been a Tiger scrum under pressure.
Bind.
Lightning put him.
Yeah, quick play there. Once they awarded the penalty, no time was wasted. Get it into hands quick.
Kelter. Back into Morale. Big frame. Drives it over the 22. Taking 3 players to get her down. Davey. Fitzpatrick. Young second row. Really industrious with her carries. Huge work rate. Quick ball, but Nelson fitting into that first receiver. Alif Kelter. She darts through. Short line from the centre. Quick ball. Stab through. And it's fielded by Bitter, but it just Henrik manages to get on it, saves the day, goalkeeping ability. I think it fumbled out of Bitter's hands.
No, I'm not sure why. I'm definitely going to need to see the replay on that because it felt like Tigers had got control of the situation. Bitter, an initial fumble was mopped up. I'm not sure who the number was, but mopped up by a team plate. And Leicester felt like they were in a sensible and safe position there, and then did they just come in and pickpocket it?
They did, because there is the ball's out and open, so there's no offside, so you can come in and touch the ball down. That is outstanding work by Lightning, who are able to see playing the ball. There's no ruck within.
Yeah, I want to see
try
this
line,
again.
And is it Davey, I think, who spots it?
Yeah,
Davey spots it, drives forward, just taps her hands on it because there's no back foot there, of course. So that is brilliant knowledge by the scrum half, who pickpockets, quite rightly, as you said, that try out from the noses of Leicester Tigers.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, Lightning should leave on horseback. They have just robbed the Tigers' defence there. Oh, yeah, there's some big hits in this game now. You know, you think about, you go in at a half as a Lightning player, you're leading in your derby game. You come out and concede a try, great try from Tigers. The next thing you want to do is get some big hits in. And this feels like a hammy. It's a gimme. Tigers should be tucking that up and defending the ball.
Hibbert Jones takes the hit and the ball. Davey plays it out, little show and go. Great drive by Williams.
No, it's still in.
Davey finds Nelson. He's taking first receiver duties. Bitter, what can she add? Steps off her left, swings round, ducks her head down, goes for the gap. Quick ball. Russell steps off her right. Great carry as she bowls through. Kelter tries to go for the turnover. Nika Laborie, who's on at scrum half now. just trying to play quick ball. Building phases really well. Emerson Allen driven forward, Baverstock. Just need to try and get a bit of go forward now, and it's Henrik who goes for it. Just a little bit too long, but chases a kick. Nelson fields it. Turnover from Henrik. Outstanding poach. Can she get to floor? And it's a quick pick through the middle once again. Laborie driven through. Offload, but Laborie gets it back in her hands. Gunter, what can she do? Goes one way, darts the other. Drives forward the South African international. Quick ball out the back. McCorman. And it's Laborie, it's the penalty given, and it's just driven through. Laborie once again. Allen, can they get a score? Much needed. It's Russell coming back for the penalty. So obstruction.
Yeah, this is Tigers. I mean, gaining yards from this chip and chase. You can see the bounce has gone her way, and it feels like Lightning didn't do a very good job of mopping it up. But getting over the player, getting the foot in front of the ball, picking it up and realising I'm still in possession here. And then, unfortunately, after gaining those extra yards, conceding possession via a penalty, giving Lightning the opportunity to kick out.
She's not a part of the lineup, so we're going to carry on.
So in play, McColeman's just getting a little bit of treatment. Lightning and let off the hook. You really feel there should have been a score there for Tigers if they were going to claw their way back into this. Couple of quick tries after half time. Reminder, Hibbert Jones and Davey. He poached that, but it's a line out. Treader with a double dummy throw.
Yeah, that's a bit of welcome relief for the Tigers. The dummy throw is, that's a hammy back from Lightning there, and it puts the ball back in Tigers' hands. It looks like they're going to line up. They're not going to kick. No, it looks like they're going to keep ball in hand. What do you make of that?
Free kick, so they're just going to get through as they drive forward. Looks like a possible high tackle. No, it's not noted. So they play on. Quick ball. Bitter with a batter.
Bitter with the buttery hands, I think is what you went to say. It slipped out of her grips then.
Yeah, little bat forward. And that is Laborie. It's just Allen. Just reached for her outside arm. Took her eye off it, perhaps. A couple of... It's like a chain reaction, isn't it? There's a couple of links on that chain that have gone against Tigers now.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the luck that in the first half, the try that hits the post and bounces the correct way. And that's the difference between having a great season or having a season that doesn't go your way. And, that's what I feel that Tigers need to do. They need to turn their own luck. And I thought that happened in the first half. And unfortunately, it's rearing its head negatively in the second half. But they have just once again got turnover. Look, she's trying to play super early. She has. They're moving already.
So, McColeman, ball in hand. What can she do? She finds Kasikova on that far side. Laborie, quick ball once again. They're going through the faces. And it's Farmer who gets to floor. Slowing that ball down. Baverstock manages to keep possession. Gunter, great tackle on her. Can she get turned over? She can't, but she's got to have support with her. Quick ball from Laborie. Doesn't need a breakdown. And it's just outside the 22. You can see the organisation come in as a little carry from Clodagh Dunn. And it's once again Gunter, who's been really good with ball in hand today, but counter up coming in from Kelter.
Yeah, that's really positive possession from Tigers. Tigers are going for a really nice period at the moment. This is a nice period of controlled possession. As a fan watching I'm sorry, we're just going to go to a little replay here. A very quick breakaway. The scrum breaks down there, as you can see. She tries to play, the defensive player blocks her, but she's on it. And Tigers are rapid. Everybody's on the same page. They react quickly. They move the ball quickly. They're getting up in the faces of that Lightning team. God, strong. It's a strong period of possession.
So referees just deemed that Kelter's off her feet as she's come through. Counter-up was good initially, but just hit the deck. Just disrupted. So penalty. Tigers get another opportunity. What can they do here?
Well, this feels like a really good position in the middle of the 22. Tigers has great statistics on the line out, as we know. And, we'd hopefully assume that they'd retain possession in this. And it puts them in a real fighting position. But there seems to be a little break going on here. Is this a team meeting, a huddle?
Just got an injury down on the far side, just out of shot. I think it's Davey who's getting a little bit of treatment. So there's a little conflab going on between the Tigers pack. Can they get another score like they did just before half-time?
Yeah, that's got to be a positive conversation, isn't it? They're saying to themselves, they're grouping to ourselves, look, we are 10, 11 yards out. It's our line out. We're in possession. We've just had a really good positive period of possession. Let's retain this and let's get it up to that try line.
Well, no Cabella, but one international for another. Talia Brody's on, but in defensive duties now. So it's Allen. Can they drive it forward? Gunter's finding her way. Can she go over for a second? It looks like it's going one way. There's a million people in this mall. Can they finish off? Referee spots it, and it's another try for Gunter as she finishes strong. What a maul from the Tigers pack as they roar into action with their 5th try.
This is fantastic. It's interesting because there was a quick break before that line out. You could see the forwards, the Tigers forwards got themselves together in a huddle, and I'd love to be a fly on the wall for that conversation. But judging by what we've seen here, the way that we reacted to the poachers trying just a few minutes earlier is that they're telling themselves the team is grouping together. We have to score here. We're going to score here. Look at them. Look at the faces of the team there. This is a real positive Tigers team. It's such a privilege to watch this. What a great second half. Come on, Bitter, put these 2 points over. That'll really change this scoreline.
Well, the 5th try for Tigers. Bitter under pressure. Maybe took a little bit too long, and Williams put her off. Millimetres away from a charge down.
Yeah, it's those orange boots. Terrible.
So
if you wear orange boots, you have to convert.
31-38 to Lightning. Only a try in it. Still 20 minutes to go. Can Tigers get back in this game? They're clawing their way back. Fury takes it forward. Good clear on Brody. Looking for the box. Labourie.
Use it, please.
The French under 21, really promising. Doesn't make touch, out quick. It's Daly flies up, but manages to stop, thwart the attack, but quick ball again. Daly, that was a forward pass, but referees haven't spotted it. It's Kelter who's batting everybody off like a pinball, but it's slow ball, but as Tigers are coming up, they're just leaving a little seam, but what a double tackle on the edge. Out the back once again. Morale. Penalty advantage, and we're going to see a card, and it's going to be Emerson Allen. She's been busy, but gave away a yellow card when they least needed it.
Yeah, that's a terrible timing for Tigers, going a player down. With the game's at this kind of critical, pivotal swinging point. But there's a couple of things to unpack in this little replay here. First of all, the missed tackle has given the Lightning the opportunity to gain some yards. And it felt like, because, you and I are opposite, it felt like a forward pass. That last pass there, we were directly behind. And I think instinctively we both said that was a forward pass. And I'm not quite sure what the yellow card infraction was for, but it has absolutely punished this Tigers team to go a player down at this real pivotal point of the game where, I think it's just out of shot there. Something has happened off screen. The referee's seen it. We've not seen it. Look, and he's very, very quick to that pocket.
Referee has said that it's for a late tackle without arms. So straight away...
That's a headbutt.
Matt Sharp was into his pocket, taking out the yellow card. And I think I have to agree with him. It was a late hit, but charge didn't wrap the arms, but just seen it on the wider shot now. So hit here, and it's a charge into, thinking it was Rowland, but that is what they didn't need.
Yeah, now they find themselves 5 yards out, line out in hand, and which they retain.
So back into Lightning. Can it strike again? And it's thundering forward. Advantage for in at the side. Davey plays it out. Kelter with the hard line in. Great tackle from McCalman, who's now into guard with a second tackle. Penalty advantage still playing on. Rolling their sleeves up. What can they do? Driven forward. This pack goes to work. Isla Curfew takes it over, held up.
Yeah, that's brilliant defence. As a rugby fan, you always love to see a try that's defended well and held up. It's that moment of small margins, and I think Tigers have done really well to prevent that, particularly as Lightning had an advantage throughout that phase.
Okay, so penalty, quick tap. Isla Curfew goes forward, driven forward by Williams. Still on the ball. Can she get to floor? She can. Makes it out. Latui. Can she go for her third? Quick pick. Hibbert Jones making her way forward, and she's over on that second movement. Just deemed to use momentum. And it's Hibbert Jones, the captain, who's back into action this week for her second try.
Yeah, Lightning get a lot of positivity from that play. You can see that they've come here with a game plan. A lot of their tries are very, very similar. And you expect Latui to come in and get a hat-trick at that point. And they're just battering this Leicester Tigers team when they're 2-3 yards out. It becomes incredibly difficult to defend that over and over and over. And when they get the hold-up, they prevent the try. You think there's a moment there where they've done their job, they've defended it. Now, they pile on the pressure, Lightning do, by converting extra 2 points on the scoreboard, which moves the score to 31-45. I mean, still a fantastic game, though. Very difficult, though, when you consider the Tigers team are going to be down to, well, they are now down to 14 players.
They've still got probably another 6 or so minutes down with 14. But remember, in the first half, they scored a try from Henrik with 14 players. So can they do the magic again?
Yeah, there's always an interesting psychological twist when you lose a player. If everybody gives 10% more, you tend to do better when you have one less player. Oh, what a great kick. Sorry to interrupt. That from the kickoff, it bounced twice, went straight out. The Lightning defending team aimed to receive that ball, and they misjudged it completely, went completely over their head and rolled out for a throw-in.
Latui's doing a one-woman lift, and it just went over the head of those two. Gunter's day has finished after scoring a couple of tries. And it's Alana Bainbridge who's make her way on. And Danny Allen as well. Baverstock. So it's quick ball. Fitzpatrick once again taken forward. You can hear them shouting 1-2, 1-2, keeping it in. They're trying to draw the penalty. Here we go. Called it. Penalty advantage. It's free ball now. What can they do with it? Rowland, little wraparound. Can she get it away? She spots the gap. She puts the burners on. Double tackle. Ceases her attack, but quick ball from Davey. Steps one way, steps the other. Out to Brody. Used to play at Tigers. But coming back
in at the side
for the penalty. And that is Laborie giving away the penalty from coming in at the side. Rowland, who's looked comfortable in the fly-half position, obviously plays a lot of positions. Was at full-back last week. Plays centre regularly for the Red Roses. She's a woman of many talents, to be honest.
I don't know what to comment on that.
She is a prolific try scorer. She's absolutely nails her kick-in percentage as well. Grand Slam winner. But back to Latui, another Red Rose who fumbles it but gets it back and makes another 5 metres. Out the back. Rowland, pace onto Nelson. Last game in the purple shirt. Quick ball, just makes it up to the 22. Latui, tip on, Brody. Nice little short line. Takes out a couple of defenders. Swings back against the grain. And just coming back for a penalty. And it's a neck roll that's come in from the side. And that's Latui, who's gone for a neck roll.
Yeah, that feels like it came at a good time for Tigers, because the Lightning team double blind then went the other way and found themselves in a 3-on-3. Bitter kicks for touch. Yeah, we're going to see that penalty again. Yeah, Lightning look comfortable, ball in hand. They recycle well, but choose to go the other way.
It's that neck roll that's been deemed from the assistant referee. So, we play on. Bainbridge, first line out. Finds Richardson, great take. 46 takes previously to this game. Quick ball, Laborie swings back against the grain. Richardson once again crossing.
That is the second crossing offence this Tiger team have done in the second half. No, I made a mistake then. Sorry, I thought the referee's first arm went up initially. I thought it was an offence against Tigers. Actually, it's an offence for Tigers.
Now, it was initially crossing, but the penalty had already been called for not rolling away. So, Bitter, once again, with that massive rocket of a boot, takes up to the 10-metre line.
You're on the edge, okay? 4.
So, back to it. Tigers taking their way forward. Just going through their movement, and Richardson takes the spoils from the top. Fury out to McColeman. Every time she carries, she makes meters. She's so strong in contact. But stab through from Fury, turns Nelson. Can Daly get back on her? She manages to make the hit. Can she hold her up? Nelson fights strong, gets to the floor. And Kasikova goes in for the turnover, but it's Alif Kelter, who was in at blindside last week, rumbles forward. Counter up coming in. Can they get it away? Treaders on the ball. Firing in from these vicious backs in. The roaring pack. But Latui gets her hands on ball, does what she does so well, makes meters in the contact area. Kelter's down. Rowland boots it forward. Bitter under.
50-22.
Fury goes to the 50-22. Does she get it? Oh, and she does. What a worldie of a kick. That is absolutely fantastic play from Fury.
Yeah, that is a sensational kick. When you consider right-hand side of the pitch, only maybe 7-8 yards from the half, to completely switch play with the kick. Not only switch play, beat the entire pitch. She's actually put it out. Look, what is that? 10, 11, maybe 15 yards out. And this is a really dominant time for them. You know, the line out has predominantly been won by the team that's throwing it in. But, you know, in this feisty encounter, you know, they are turning the ball over from the opposition.
Well, a couple of changes coming in. Clifford's made her way on, but they've just fumbled the line out. So, penalty against. Playing the referee in the air. Not the referee. Referee's not in the air. I mean, he did make a tackle earlier, but he's not jumping in the line out, folks. That's me.
Taking the player in the air.
Getting confused once again. It's easy. But anyway, Bitter is back on. Kick into the corner.
Yeah, this is a really big position for Tigers. You know, we've already seen that they're able to penetrate and cause problems when they are ball in hand 5 or 6 yards out, which is exactly the position they find themselves in now. They retain possession, they get to throw it in the line-out, and statistically the line-out is incredibly positive for Tigers. They are retaining possession from the throw more times than ever.
So Richardson, main receiver again. Russell drives her forward. Is there a penalty advantage there? Isn't, so it's play all. It's a little swing back. Henrik back into traffic. Quick ball. Can Dunn make anything of this? Swing back, Loughborough. She's got an overlap. Can they get in the corner? They can! What an absolute finish! Brilliant running. Think it might be Kasakova again. But what a finish! Great play as Loughborough swung it back against the grain. Great vision, and Carolina Kasakova for her second try.
Yeah, I mean, it felt predictable. It felt like the bitter kick put the line out in the right position. They put themselves in a try-scoring position, few yards out. Here it is. Here's the breakdown now. Retain the ball in the line out, protect the ball in this ruck, move it out nice and quickly, and then get yourself in a try-scoring position. Battering rams for a couple of phases. Gain yards. I mean, helpless defending at this stage because it felt inevitable. But that switch then from Fury, that switch to turn on the inside, 2 quick passes out and score in the oh, what a game! What a great game!
Well, this is a really important kick. Can she add the extras?
No, it doesn't have the legs. That's a long way as well. The kick didn't have the legs. It looked straight from where we are, but it didn't have the yards. This is a critical time now. 73.5 minutes on the clock. And the yellow card sin bin time is over now. So, interesting, in the first half, Tigers scored with 14 on the pitch, and they've just done exactly the same again. They've scored with 14 on the pitch.
Well, they know how to roll their sleeves up as they're back into it. Bainbridge takes it. Knock on here.
First one, pretty much. Guys, patience and balance. Okay?
Well, of course, we're near the end of the match and we're right in the thick of it. It's 36-45 to Loughborough. And we have got our 4 players who are up for player of the match. Now, Anne, you're going to talk us through who's up for it, but it's up to you guys back at home. The Built for Athletes player of the match, you can vote who it is. So make sure you get voting on YouTube and tell us who is your nominees.
Well, I've gone for 2 players from each team, which I think acknowledges the even spread amongst these 2 teams. So I'll go to the Leicester Tigers players first. Mickey Gunter is my first choice, playing number 2 today. Scored that try, the meerkat try as I'll now call it, as she's controlled that ruck, she's kept her hand on, she's contributed, she's looking up, and she's just chosen the perfect moment to put the ball down. The second Leicester's Tigers player is Tess Fury. I think Tess has been the engine room for Tigers the entire game so far. She's created a lot, she's caused a lot of problems. If I was a Lightning player, it would be the player that I would be most fearful about. Everything seems to tick through her. Then 2 from the Loughborough Lightning team. Bo Weskin-Evans, number 11. Just been a really strong contribution today. Really, really solid. But then I've got to have a special mention for the number 8 for Loughborough Lightning, Latui. Latui has been, I think, hands down the most dominant player on the pitch. Every time she gets the ball in hand, you can feel the electricity. It's exciting. She is an absolute battering ram. It's like a HGV out of control on the highway. And I would not want to be the player on the receiving end trying to defend against her. She's only got 2 tries. I say only. She has 2 tries to her name. And I just have a sense that with the time left on the clock, there's only a couple of minutes, yes, she could put herself in a position for a hat-trick today.
Well, she certainly could. That's 2 tries this week. She was everywhere last week, and has been nominated for one of the breakthrough players of the season. And yeah, that's the reason why. 234 carries today. I reckon she's added another 20 or so to that, but it's her post-contact meters that are so impressive. 339. So with people hanging off her, she is making meters.
Yeah, she's a force once she gets moving. But not only is she strong in straight line, she's got feet. Like, she moves. It's such exciting to watch a player like that.
So we're into the last 5 minutes of the game, but we're just getting news that, lo and behold, Bristol have just beaten Gloucester. But it's Tigers who are running away. It's Henrik Loughborough, little dummy, gets the offload down the far side. What can they do? Loughborough finds a gap. Thinks she offloads it to a Loughborough player. She does. What a shame. It's quick ball though. Mationga at a scrum half. Latui. Quite narrow in defence of the Tigers. Can they get it out? Looks like they're going to run it out. Kelter holds the final player in defence. Bo Westcombe-Evans, and it's Bitter who bats it out into touch. Footballing skills from Bitter.
Wow, when we talk about those positive embers burning in the Tigers side, and you know, that quick breakaway, quick hands, some pace in the team. Bear in mind, we're into the dying minutes now. It says 80 on the clock, so we are going by the referee's clock though. So although it says 80 on the stadium, the referee can still play a bit more time, which is what's happening. But what a positive breakaway from Tigers.
The Tigers manage to thwart that attack, and it's a brave tackle from Acton. Quick ball out to Hibbert Jones. Has she got the legs? She steps back in. It's Daly who makes the tackle just on this short side. What can they do? Fitzpatrick plays out again. Kelly is back on. Morrell, quick ball. Is it a forward pass? Referee has deemed it is, and it's coming back.
Yeah, we could see it. We were standing from the commentary box right in line with that. It was obviously a forward pass, but the decision was taken away because it was ultimately a knock-on. We've got a few players down now. I can see 4 players requiring treatment at this stage. But let's look. The wide pass out to the winger. Tackle turns into a ruck quite quickly. And it feels like Lightning, they move the ball incredibly quickly. They get it safely up their jerseys here. But look at the speed of hands. Moving it quick. Great little dummy inside. Give away when she's tackled. And there's the forward pass, which ultimately was knocked on. And the penalty going to Tigers' way.
I think Hibbert Jones is going to be very happy that you called her a winger out on this far side. She had absolute gas, but brilliant to see the blind side out on the wing, but great vision to get the ball to her absolute pace as she rumbled her way down that touchline. What a compliment.
Well, Hibbert Jones can come and personally thank me later for calling her a winger. That's a tough thing about this commentary gig. How do you remember everybody's name? It's quite amazing to watch, actually. You're very good at this.
Well, thank you very much. It's only my second rodeo on PWR, but I'm doing okay, as are you on your debut. So hopefully we'll get this tag team back together. But talking about tag teams, it's into the pack. Ball played away. Henrik, little swing over. Daly just off the top.
Yeah, we're into the dying minutes now. I mean, we're not entirely sure how long is left. And strangely, the clock now says 79 when it said 80 a minute ago. So somebody in the Leicester Stadium is probably fixing the clock to get an extra couple of minutes because of the score 36 and 45. One converted try wouldn't do it, but what a great positive end to the season if Leicester could go and nick one more.
Well, it's not bad. 6 tries for Tigers, adding a couple extra from last week's loss against Quins, but they've really put themselves out there today, and could have gone either way, and there's still a few moments left in this. Can they get on the board again? But the penalty going against Curfew in that scrum. It's batted off from Allen. Labourie's on it. Can she take it? She's absolutely nailed to the floor from Kat Turner, who's come back after injury. Fury. McCalman. Quick ball, Laborie. Fury out the back. Little tip on. Bitter. Daly in her hands. Kick over the top. What can she do? It's a mark from Mateanga. Well, there we go. Good vision and high ball skills.
Yeah, it felt like kicking was probably the right thing to do. You know, players close. But I just want to watch this replay, because once she made a decision to kick, there's quite a nice bit of afters on her there. She gets wiped out completely. The referee seemingly missed that one.
I've done plenty of those in my time, just as it's been kicked or passed. You get away with it.
Well, it is the 81st minute of a derby. If there's any at the end of the season as well, final game, last minute of a derby, you get an opportunity to put your opposing player into the stands. It was taken.
Well, she's back in action. One of your player of the matches nominees is back on. Gunter.
The meerkat.
The meerkat.
As she looked up
Laborie.
From that ruck.
McCallman, she's been so good today. Allen trucks it forward.
God, the referee very nearly got in the way for the second time in the game then. He ended up having to duck out the way for the pass to be completed.
Bitter takes it on. Little run through. Tip on was potentially on, but opted for the safe option in. So Gunter, every time she carries, she ducks into contact. Brilliant running. And it's Henrik. Oh, it's a little switch, but she slides it back in to Stapopoulos. And it's...
Gunter finds herself offside then.
Unfortunate penalty against Tigers as they just started to get their tails up. But you're seeing them.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the last moment of the game. I think when this ball goes into touch, that will be the full-time whistle.
Just remember, on a penalty...
Oh, it's not made touch.
Oh, it has. It bounced just before. Oh, that was a lucky save. So there's time, obviously, for the line-out off a penalty. You can't call full-time. So penalty... Can they get one last try on the board? Lutui's certainly going to want to do something about that. Fitzpatrick onto the ball. Brody. Stapoulis. Kelly. Is driven over. And it's a try as they bowl forward.
Yeah, that is a try in what will be the last phase of play of this local derby. And it feels like Lightning, once they're in that line-out position, 5-6 yards out, they've really, really maximised the ball possession from a line-out. And I wonder what the statistics will be after this game. From line-outs to scoring, it feels like every time Lightning has had a line-out in that 10, 15 yards out, they've gone on to get 5 points from it.
It has been a great try ratio for them as replacement hooker Stapoulis comes on, scores. Only her 9th game for the team, came in to replace Lucy Calladine and Ellis Martin, who were injured earlier. But what a finish for Tigers as they hit the 50 mark. Sorry, Loughborough hit the 50 mark, that is, but what a finish. Well, it's full time here at Mattiello Woods. It is 36-50 to Loughborough Lightning, but deserved pats on the back for Tigers as they scored 6 tries. What are you making of it?
Well, it's interesting because I was at the Quins game last week and I left that game feeling that Tigers put down a sensible score, 29 points. They dominated the second half. They won the second half. And a couple of things that had gone their way would have made the outcome very, very different. And today, you score 36 and lose. that's a difficult pill to swallow. And then I think when we start to analyse the way in which Lightning have scored their tries, as I said earlier, they put themselves in try-scoring positions, a line out 10 yards out, a scrum 10 yards out, and they become incredibly difficult to defend against. And then there's a few little critical moments in the game. The little pickpocket try by Lightning in the second half, I think, is going to go down as an interesting turning point, because that's a freebie. You know, once you're in a defensible position, protect the ball, and it feels like that's a gifted try. So chalk 7 points off at a critical point. So on one hand, I feel incredibly sorry for Tigers. Last game of the season, and that means they have had a season where they have been unable to get a win. But as a fan, there's still the embers burning of positivity. They've still scored 36. They got 29 against Harlequin last week. And there's so much that they can take forward into pre-season and into the new season, don't you think?
Absolutely, it's been a brilliant season for Tigers, but we have to announce the player of the match, somebody who's been brilliant through the game, and it's the Built for Athletes player of the match. That goes to Ala Latui. She's got abrasive tries, she's been abrasive in her carries, she's been on the front foot, she's been so hard to get down. Talk us through why she was one of your nominations.
Yeah, I mean, it was a standout performance from Latui. It's very, very difficult. You have to choose 4 people, but I think the right winner has deservedly been selected by the public there. So hats off to everybody who's been watching this game. I think unlucky not to get a hat-trick. Powerful in possession, powerful in hand. Every time she got the ball, the place lit up, because you know that she's going to create opportunities. You know that she's going to gain yards. And, you know, the players from Tigers that were in a position where they have to tackle her, you know it's big hits.
I've been on the end of it, so yeah.
Yes,
I
you
know.
So
yeah.
you know firsthand.
It's like a brick being thrown at you. But we're now going to take a look at some of her tries as well as others as we go into the highlights of the game in the next few moments.
Yeah, this is that very, very early try. Derby game, you want to try and set a tempo, set your intent, show the opposition, your local rivals exactly why you're here to mean business, and then Lightning responding in kind very, very quickly afterwards. And there's, gaining yards, powerful. And there's enough Tigers defenders there to try and prevent this. But a second is here. The minute the ball is picked up, there is only one outcome for Latui.
Yeah, it was a great try, but Latui, but then it was answered back from the open side as Kabea used her dancing feet. Strictly come dancing, it might be, but Kabea went over for the second try.
Yeah, again, quick hands moving inside. This was a familiar theme. The Lightning team get themselves into strong positions, few yards out, and then the try scoring becomes inevitable. Latui there with her second try. Yeah, this is patient working, and whilst the Lightning tries were battering yard after yard, that extra wide pass out. But I think, is this the build-up to what was ultimately... Yeah, this is that lucky moment. You see it hits the post, it foxes the defender there, and the first person to react is a Tigers player. That's Henrik going in to touch the ball down. Great try. But this is the try of the game for me. This is that moment. Opportunity to give it, blindsides the defenders, runs between the two, slight little handoff. There is an opportunity here for Lightning to try and mop it up and defend it, but the Tigers react quickest. They react first, and then this is when you know a team is together. She could have selfishly put it over the line, but she gave it to her colleague.
Kasikova.
Yeah, I can't read your writing then. And I was just commenting earlier, I was commending you on how well you remember everybody's name, but Kasikova scoring the try there. That's the try of the game for me from Tigers there.
And then it was second half, and Hibbert Jones who went in quickly after a couple of minutes.
Yeah, and here's the Meerkat. Look, she's in total control. She's just helping contribute to push over there, but her head's up. She's looking, she's waiting, patiently waiting. Now's my opportunity. I'll just put that down. That is food and drink. And this is a big turning point. This is Dick Turpin running around the side on horseback. Thank you very much. I just shoplifted and pickpocketed you.
So it's Davey who did the pickpocketing But then it was Gunter who was back on the Meerkat into her second try as her teammates managed to wrestle her over to get that.
Yeah, Gunter being another nominee for the try of the game. And here we see Hibbert Jones bundling over. This just brute forced. That's just the last yard.
And then we're just coming back for the second try. Laborie spins it out, and it's Henrik with the pass out to Kasikova once again.
Yeah, it's a brace by Kasikova in the game. It's been such great performances.
And then it was driven forward by the US Stavropoulos, who goes over for the 8th try. So it wasn't just us in action, it was also a busy day in the PWRs. We had final scores. Exeter Chief take the spoils against Sale Sharks, 50-24. But a really big head turner is that Gloucester versus Bristol. Bristol win that 26-21. Tigers 36-50 and Saracens 80 points to 14. Trailfinders really up against it today. But we're going to take you into the table now. So it's Gloucester Hartpury who wanted an unbeaten season. They've just come off the boil in the last 2 weeks, having lost the last couple of games. But they go into the playoffs in first. Saris, Exeter and Trailfinders who take the top 4 spots. Quins narrowly miss out. Loughborough leapfrog into 6. Sale 7, Bristol 8 and Tigers in 9th. But what a season we've had. But it's not over yet, as we have the semi-final coming up shortly. First up, we've got Gloucester Hartpury versus Trailfinders in the first game, and then it's Saracens versus Exeter at 4:30. And you might see us laughing as I just got cramp in that moment, but the final hasn't been sung until the 28th of June. That's 3 o'clock at the Stoop. But we are back saying how well this game has gone, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a fantastic game to be at. I mean, I always love a local derby. The fact that it's the last game of the season. And, you know, I'll keep banging on about the positive things that each team can take away from it. But from a Leicester perspective, I think there's so much they can take away from this game, from last week. And it's a critical period now for everybody in the PWR, because they're all going to, you know, take stock, evaluate how the season's gone, take some time off, which I think is important for players, particularly when they have players like running at you like HGVs on a highway. And I think in the main, both teams are going to be happy. But it had everything. It had yellow cards. It had bags of tries. We had fist fights in the middle. It's everything that a derby should and would have given.
Yeah, it was a hell of a game and a brilliant one to call. And for your debut as well, fantastic to have you on board with us, Anne. And it's been really good action in front of us. We've seen 80-odd points, 86 points being scored in front of us. It was 8 tries from Lightning, who took the spoils, but a really impressive from the Leicester Tigers, who build into next season. So we are very, very thankful for you guys joining us. Thank you to Ant, who's been tremendous. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure you watch the semi-finals, as it's not over yet. Thanks a million.
Thanks very much.
I'm in my